Hi guys, Little Host here. I'm sorry if you can hear some background noise. I can't turn down my radio. I know this is another Rome 2, another Rome 2 replay I'm showing you guys. But believe it or not, I have been playing Shogun 2 recently, and I do have replays to upload to YouTube. So, anyway, basically I was playing as the Nomads, my opponent was playing as Sparta, and yeah, let's get it.
The more the merrier! Come, my fellow warriors, there is much to do this day. The blood of the enemy will soon wash this field in waves. There are so many heads to be removed, my heart sings. Wow! Right?
So, obviously, playing as the Nomads against Sparta is pretty difficult. Sparta arguably has the best spears in the game, but what they don't have is a lot of precursors on those spears. That's why periodic spears are the only spears in their army that actually have precursors, making them pretty valuable. Still, not a big fan of them myself. Anyway, the rules were that you can only bring 5 horse archers, but when before the battle started, he said I could bring more if I wanted. This battle did last a while because it was pretty hard to get around him. Like, I knew that with this setup I'd lose, unless I was pretty good with microing my own units. So I'm going to fast forward it a bit. Sorry about that. Fast forward it to right here. Because I was trying to... I think I'll explain my thought process. So as you can see, for some reason I'm in the red, but anyway. Gorgo skirmishers, he has 6 of them. I only have 5 horse archers, 2 of which are Scythian Amazonians. My thought process was get rid of the skirmishers first, work on the spears afterwards. Of course it's going to be a bit difficult because his slingers do have 150 range. I was a bit clumsy at times with my horse archers. Excuse me. But that was my ultimate goal, was to actually get rid of the skirmishers first. So I was microing these guys extensively. But every time I'd be able to aim at one of his units, his skirmishers would be able to aim back. See, he could stay in this area and I'd still have problems. I can't aim the same way he can aim. Like, I have 150 range on these units, but the problem is that so does he. And as you might know, horse archers in Rome 2 that have 150 range still have a hard time firing. In Attila, it got fixed a bit. Like, horse archers and skirmishers could fire at the same time, but not in Rome 2, from what I know. So basically, he's not going to move from this position, whether it's because of the forest or because he knows that I can't charge frontally. I actually could have, come to think of it, but I would have lost more men than I wanted.
Forwards! Riders, forwards! Riders, advance! Quickly now! All right! Fire!
So by this point, I used precision shot to try to aim for the Gorgo skirmishers who weren't actually firing on my side.
Forwards! Fire on her! Quickly now!
Fortunately, I didn't get that many kills, so I was kind of disappointed. But as you can see, I'm having a pretty hard time actually doing damage because I'm trying to keep my horse archers here out of range of the Grogo skirmishers because they die a lot faster than the armored horse archers and noble horse archers. Speaking of which, I did bring noble horse archers because they have good melee potential, well, better melee potential, 12 more attack than armored horse archers. And I was thinking to myself, that's going to be extremely useful for tackling the pikemen, but not the Spartan Hoplites and the Royal Spartans, of course.
Riders, forward! Riders, move out! Quickly now! Fire! Run! Riders, forward!
See,
Quickly now!
what I could have done right here was I could have went to Canterbury Circle, but because I was so tired, I just decided to stay out of combat. He started to focus fire a bit. This unit actually got 20 kills, which is kind of scary.
Riders, forward! Loose! Quickly now!
But all the time I'm just trying to stay out of range
Forward!
and deal enough damage to the skirmishers because Royal Spartans are going to be hard to deal with anyway, but if you just catch them out of position, you might be able to deal a lot of damage. Gonna fast forward again because not much happened. Just me skirmishing still. Went to Canterbury Circle here. Expected some skirmishers to do that. Was using precision shot. Did pretty well. Now he did make a slight mistake here. He came a bit too out. So when I saw that, I knew that he'd have to bring these guys in. But he was still firing on my armored horse archers.
Riders, forward! Quickly now!
But notice how this unit of noble horse archers is in here. So even though these spears are here, he's probably trying to focus on my Saka noble armored lancers because he made it look like he was going for the noble horse archers.
Riders, forward! Riders, advance!
So by this point, I noticed an opportunity to actually take out this unit of Grogo skirmishers.
Riders, advance!
But then he brings up these Royal Spartans, and I know if he ties my noble horse archers down, then he'll just be able to fire his precursors. In that volley, he only got one unit, one model. So I was pretty happy with that. Because he has to retreat, now I just bring up my armored horse archers. I could have fired into the back of these Royal Spartans, but I'm still trying to focus on taking out the skirmishers.
Take aim! Quickly now! Riders, forward!
Meanwhile, I'm microing over here because I noticed that these Grogo skirmishers are positioned back here, but they won't be able to fire here. I got kind of clumsy with this unit of armored horse archers, and so they ended up routing, unfortunately.
Forward! Fire on them!
I should have skirmished more, but I was focusing more on this side because I noticed that these Spartan hoplites were drawn out.
Now! Forward!
I actually could have taken out this unit of Spartan hoplites, but my general and the other Saka noble armored lancers was over here, so I thought to myself, it wasn't worth it because I probably would lose a couple of units myself. And this has been said a lot, but with the Nomads, unit preservation is so important because they don't have the numbers, and they'll never have the numbers. Nomads will never have the numbers, not even in Attila most of the time. They will in the campaign though, no doubt. And I think I don't have to say this, but in like the early game for the Nomads in the campaign, well, more in Rome 2, you just want to focus on numbers. So here is where I actually begin my engaging with my cavalry. So here, second noble armored lancers go in, get 84 kills. I follow up. I should have pulled my general back because I knew he was going to go for my general. Get a couple of kills with my step noble lancers. Pull out with this unit only takes 2 casualties. By this point I could have continued to use my heart. Oh no, these guys ran out of ammunition, that's right. This unit took a few more casualties than I liked. I used Draco on my general. My general already has 50 kills. So essentially, these units are going to be routed very quickly. A huge mistake on his part because it just means that I can take out the skirmishers that are open. My general didn't take too many casualties, obviously. Noble horse archers get in, get stuck on the pikemen, so I have to pull out. Now, like I said, you shouldn't do this, especially if you're going infantry heavy. You shouldn't have done this, but because he did, I just took advantage of the situation. I'm pulling my general back so he doesn't get chased down. This unit actually took a couple of casualties trying to pull out of these rail Spartans. But I noticed these Gorgo skirmishers were open, so I took advantage of that. By this point I knew that I had to act, so I bring up the rest of my step noble lancers to help out, take out this section. Because the gap between here and here can be covered by my step armored lancers, so if he tries to move any of his units, then I can do that. However, he still has Gorgo skirmishers here, and I know that he hasn't finished using his ammunition on them. I see an opportunity to take out these Gorgo skirmishers, so while I'm microing over here, I'm also going to be microing over here, but he does go to block it, which kind of sucked. I use Draco because these guys are embraced. Take a lot of casualties. I think I made a mistake here. I know I charged in, but the angle was pretty bad. Well, apparently they got a bunch of kills. I was going to charge here, but then I saw the pikemen. Decided that it would be better to rear charge. He's actually aiming for my armored lancers and I didn't even notice. I thought he was going to aim for these units here. Got a rear charge with my general. I think after a while I noticed that. Yeah, here I made a mistake. I was going to go for the general, but then I had to retreat both of them. So as you can see, he's in a bit of a pickle where his pikemen are out of position. See, this would not have worked if he were properly braced. His pikemen were braced and his elite spears were braced because obviously expert charge defense. But because he's never braced when I'm charging, whether it's a flank or rear hit, he's never going to be able to actually take the full brunt of my charges. Or he's not going to survive most of them. Here I noticed an opportunity to take out the Gorgol skirmishers. I decided to sacrifice this unit instead of pulling them out. It actually took him a while to notice that I actually got in. Yeah, he noticed right there. But by this point, I was going to bring these guys up anyway. So right now, as it stands, his entire right flank is circled. He's going to lose his skirmishers, as you'll find out. He's going to lose that unit too. I actually pulled these guys out because I don't want to lose my general right now. He's moving his pikemen around too much. And this is not what you want to do when you're playing a Sparta against the Nomads. I made a mistake here. I tried to pull out this unit of armored lancers because they got stuck in the pikemen. Actually, they could have won. They could have won, possibly. But I didn't want to take that risk. But I was microing too much over here, so I didn't even notice they were still in. I thought I was able to get them out. Because now, by this point, they start losing a lot of men. This unit of Step Noble Lancers did pretty well. But now I'm starting to lose men because he's starting to be braced more.
Riders forwards!
He actually catches me off guard right here, but I'm able to pull out in time. Yeah, for some reason my step armored lancers were still stuck, even though I kept on trying to pull them out. So I lost that unit of armored lancers. Meanwhile, he's trying to go for this one, so I have to stop him. I don't think I used Draco that time. No, I didn't. I think I was waiting for Draco to recharge. Over here, he's still chasing for them, which I find to be kind of ridiculous. Because I should have been paying more attention. Yeah, and then Draco recharged, so I was able to. Yeah, I was able to use Draco. He made a serious mistake there. He can't afford all these charges on his general. His general only has 36 kills. And if I'm correct, another unit got more kills other than the Gorgol skirmishers, of course. I noticed that this unit of Heroes of Sparta was pretty much destroyed. So I just said to myself, they're pretty much done for. I think Draco's bugged still. Because I know that Draco, after a while, doesn't, like, the bonus versus cavalry comes back. So I keep my general in because this unit's going to be routed anyway. Use Draco again. Another rear charge.
Understood.
Like I said, the general can't afford these rear charges.
Forward. Quickly now. Come, yeah. Understood. Charge.
These guys get hit with Draco.
Gotcha.
And then the general dies right here.
Riders, advance. Aye. Charge. Woden. Advance at speed. All right.
I think I got a pretty bad charge right there. So I decided to pull out.
Backbra! Lead S! Forward! Advance at speed! Riders forward! Riders advance! Understood! Cut! Blood on! Charge! Riders advance! Riders forward! Yeah! Quickly now! Riders, advance! Forward!
This unit of Spartan hoplites was still chasing for my cav. I was able to just ignore them. And by this point, the general, because he's dead, the rest of the units just fall with it. Except this unit of Spartan hoplites, for some reason they didn't rout, which is weird, but I don't really care.
Forward!
And that's pretty much it.
Take that! Backbra!
That's basically how you use the Nomads against a spear-heavy army. Or probably a Hellenic faction altogether. I got 1,860 kills. He got 550. I regret nothing. I mean, I think I could have microed my Amazonian riders a bit better. But everyone else did fairly well, except this unit, but they didn't really do much altogether. My horse archers, in general, were pretty good. This unit was able to get into the Gorgol skirmishers twice, I think. So, I'm pretty happy with that. All in all, I did pretty well with this setup. So, I probably wouldn't do it again. But this really, the tactics I used works with any of the nomadic factions. You just have to be a bit careful with the other two factions, because their shock cav aren't as, like, the Saka Noble Armored Lancers are only for the Mazagate, but the Roxolani have better units, better shock cavalry, because of the fact that the Mazagate have Draco on their shock cav. You know, it might be a bit harder to get kills on your faction specific Draco units, like the Sarmatian Horsemen or the Royal Scythian Horsemen, but it's possible. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. The next upload will probably be a Shogun 2 upload, and yeah, I think he could have done a bit better with defeating my cavalry if he were braced. But that's about it, guys. Thanks so much.